Okay, folks, welcome to Tuesday, the 13th of April, 2021. So we are in the age of DeFi, crypto, and all sorts of financial assets that don't make sense to a lot of people. And tomorrow, I think it is, we have the IPO of the crypto exchange Coinbase. And we thought, who better to get on to have a look at this for us than Mr. Eddie Gomez
Well, thanks for the introduction.
and his haircut.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just off camera telling Tim, apologies to all the viewers for my hair or my mane, my helmet of hair. The lockdowns have eased in the UK, so have got a haircut booked in for later. So again, apologies in advance. But yeah, we've got the Coinbase direct listing tomorrow, and wow, it's going to be very, very interesting, and it's quite hard not to get excited about this one, I have to say. So, bit of background: it is going public via a direct listing rather than IPO. So the market makers are going to set the price, and then it's going to start trading. And there's a few little kind of changes from the traditional IPO process, like no underwriting and things like that. The price just is set, and it just starts trading. So the rumored valuation tomorrow is going to be there's been a huge range, to be honest, anywhere from 19 billion all the way to 180 billion, which huge numbers, obviously. But
180. Wow.
yeah,
I just
that,
heard
that
I just read 100. Oh,
exactly, yeah. So there was a range of all those different figures, but the rumor is about 100 billion tomorrow. So why is it looking so tasty? Obviously, we've seen a huge rally in Bitcoin and lots of other cryptos, so over 800% over the last year. And this is on fears of inflation, monetary debasement, increased institutional adoption, treasury utility by companies, and of course, Michael Saylor, Elon Musk, they've all been getting involved in the space. And it seems like even just the Earth rotating on the axis is making crypto go up as well. In terms of Coinbase and the valuation, they actually just reported their Q1 kind of earnings, 1.8 billion in revenue, 1.8 billion, and that's actually on a net income of 700 to 800 billion. That's 60% higher, circa 60% than the whole of their fiscal year 2020 combined. And let's not forget, 2020 was a great year for crypto as well. After that March sell-off, where we had that big liquidation event with stocks, gold, everything, because of Corona, it had a massive year. So it was a great year for crypto, and yet Coinbase have absolutely blown their 2020 figures out of the water in one quarter. So
yeah, I did a little bit of research last night, right? 139% on revenue year on year growth. Q1 2021, 9x year on 9 times quarter on quarter for 2021 Q1. Like,
yeah, it's massive. If you actually annualize that figure, which can be irrational in some cases, that's just holding the environment of Q1 constant, obviously throughout the year. That gets you to 7 billion, right? That's a huge number. But if this crypto environment and the bull market continues, it's not that crazy. They also reported their assets. I think they hold about 11 to 12% of the whole crypto market cap. It sits above 200 billion. And the real interesting thing about this for me is a clear paradigm shift. So 50%, more than 50% of those assets are from institutions. So 122 billion. But what's even more surprising about this, or something to keep a note of, this is up from 45 billion at the end of 2020. So in 3 months, they've attracted another 70, 80 billion in institutions alone. So that's huge. And I
yeah,
think there
it's
has been a
massive.
huge paradigm shift. And the way I view this, it is hard to not get excited about this. And the environment's perfect. Bitcoin's rallying into it. If we see a sell-off, obviously on the day of the direct listing tomorrow, I think that's actually unlikely. But the real key thing for me about this is it's a pure crypto play, and this is going to allow institutions that couldn't invest in Bitcoin, okay, and think about that whole amount of available assets to invest. You look at stocks, fixed income, gold. A lot of portfolio managers simply cannot invest in crypto. It's just not an option for them. Okay, hedge funds, and of course, they have a bit more freedom. It all depends on investor policy statements and things like that. They've not been able to invest in Bitcoin. It's a huge career risk. Imagine if you're a 20, 30-year-old, career portfolio manager, and you don't want to ruin your career, a good career, investing in a speculative crypto asset that has a relatively small history of anywhere from 10 to 20 years. Okay, but if you invest in Coinbase, that's not necessarily a massive career risking trade in my opinion. That's just an equity that's listed on a nice US exchange, and it provides a great crypto play, similar to how Tesla was the one-stop shop for a ESG play. What's the best way of playing ESG? Tesla. So that's the way I view this. And in terms of the valuation as well, is it crazy? 100 billion, it's a massive number. If you look at Google, what they IPO'd out was 20 billion. I think that's been rumored. But paying 20 times revenue for brokerages is actually quite common. Look at Snowflake in terms of the fintechs that have been going public at 36 times revenue. They've been trading at huge valuations if you look at Snowflake and the other fintechs that have been going public. And then also we've had SPACs, special acquisition companies, blank check companies performing reverse mergers. They've been valued multi-billion on 2025 expected revenue. Coinbase is generating 1.8 billion in revenue in a quarter, 700 billion in net income in one quarter.
So I want to put the cameras on this, because I was reading some financial projections on these guys last night, and they said that one of the scenarios was a 0.01% change in their fee structure on the revenues that they make on trading, essentially, would result in that net revenue of 1.1 billion for trading coming down to like 35 million. And it was looking at the story about, in 2017, there was 2017, a lot of these brokerage houses really had to go down to free structures, like to place trades for free, like Schwab, so on and so forth. And then there were comparisons to like ICE and CME, these guys as well. But those valuations were at 100 billion. And really, these accountants were looking at it from the sense of, well, actually, the book value looks to be like 19 billion. And that, there are competitors in this space for crypto, like Gemini, the Winklevoss twins, Kraken, Binance, Bitstamp, BitMEX. There are tons of people in there, but I don't think they have the same mass marketing engine that Coinbase have. I saw that they have 12 to 14% planned for marketing activities for the year going forward. And I just don't think Binance or Kraken or any of these guys will be even at the races with that sort of money.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw that same thing in the S1 that they filed, obviously, for this direct listing, that they're going to be directing a huge amount more into their sales and marketing. So I did see that as well. But yeah, who knows? With this company, why it's so profitable is the margins that they generate. Such a high margin business, and it is actually quite expensive, the spreads, but. We're like we've seen with Robinhood and the commission-free trading. They'll find a way. if it is, payment for order flow, if it is, further gamification of this Coinbase, and then the regulators will be interested as well. Yeah, we're yet to see. But I think they will be spending a huge amount more on that sales and marketing. So that's definitely a line item to watch for sure.
So is there an indicative price being floated around for the IPO price?
Not that I've seen, but that's one thing to take a note of this relative to an IPO. Just like with Deliveroo, why that had such a obviously it fell 31%. With the underwriting with the investment banks that you get with an IPO, Goldman actually stepped in and injected. I believe they bought 75 million worth of shares of Deliveroo when it was under a lot of pressure. With a direct listing, you don't get that. So it's going to be set, the price is going to be set, and then it's going to be, pure secondary market activity from there. There'll be no stabilization. So that's definitely something to watch. But I can't see a negative outcome for this IPO. It's going to be wild. But, given the run up in Bitcoin and the environment at the moment, I'm pretty confident that this is going to be a great PR event for them to really hit the mainstream.
The big question is, how much crypto does Eddie have in his portfolio?
Well, we'll have to show that in another video, Tim.
Okay, we'll do it then. So listen, thanks for your time. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Tim.
Cheers. Bye-bye.